What's going on, guys? Scott the Empower Building Fitness here, and today I want to bring you sort of a different video to the videos I normally put up my channel. A video of my own opinions and just some overall information. And today's topic in this video is going to be supplements. So what you need, what you don't need, what needs to, what works, what doesn't work, what I use, what I like to use, why I don't like to use it, and why I do use it. So I'm gonna go ahead, dive into the video right now. Everyone's favorite, and that is protein powder. Why you need it, when you should take it, what it does for you, and my personal opinions on it. Before we dive into any of this, I just want to say, guys, any of the companies that I mention here I'm not affiliated with, and this is my own opinion. So if I do say something wrong or you think it's wrong, well then don't take my advice. I am literally just giving you my opinion on this subject matter. And if you don't think my opinion counts, well then don't take my opinion, but I'm going to let you know my thoughts on it, and that's how it's going to be. So, protein, number one. Why people take protein? There's so many misconceptions of protein. People think, oh, I take a scoop or two of protein powder directly after my workout and I'll instantly get strong, or I'll instantly make gains, I'll instantly make muscle, and that's a complete misconception. What people need to understand is the key word here is supplements. You're not meant to take these all the time, replace them. They're supposed to be supplemented in to your diet. So protein, the reason why people use protein powder half the time is because they aren't getting enough protein in their diet, and they use it to just hit their protein. As you've seen in my videos before, I track my macros, so I know exactly how much protein I should be taking in. Generally they say, if you do the research on it, when you're gaining / bulking, you should be taking in just a maximum of minimum of 1 pound per body weight, and gram per body weight. So right now I'm 174 pounds, so my protein is a little bit over. I'm on about 180 grams of protein per day. But then on the other end of the spectrum, when you're dieting, you want to keep your protein high, and the reason you want to keep your protein high in your diet is to maintain muscle mass, and that's what it does. So that's another misconception. As I said, people think instantly gives you gains, instantly makes you muscle, and what protein does is it helps you recover, and not protein powder. I'm not talking about protein powder helps you recover, just protein in general. So anything that has protein, chicken, fish, meat, any sort of product that has protein in it. The reason why you need protein is to help your muscles recover, because when you work out, what happens is you're breaking down your muscles, you're tearing your muscle fibers, and to recover that and for your muscles to knit back together and be fully recovered for your next workout, you need to take in the right amount of protein. If you're not taking in a certain amount of protein per day, your muscles aren't fully recovering. Therefore, if you go for your next workout, you're still going to be sore, your muscles aren't going to be recovered as much, and that can lead to injury. So that's a lot of people I've heard, especially sports people who don't specifically train for strength or bodybuilding or anything like that, just normal sports people, they aren't looking at their protein intake, and that's a lot of the reason why it leads to injury and stuff like that, because their muscles aren't fully recovered for their next workout or their next training session. So just my personal opinions I'm going to give on protein right now. So one, do I take protein? No. Two, why I don't take protein. There is very few proteins that I can stand. My stomach is very particular when it comes to proteins, and overall I am just very particular of what I put in my mouth regarding protein. Anything I buy, I always check the lab researches on it. I always check up on it, simply because a lot of protein or supplement companies have come out to known to amino spike and just overall spike their proteins, filling it with cheap shit, and not putting in 100% protein into their products. So that's the reason why anytime I do buy protein or go for a protein, one that I find that does suit my stomach, I always check the lab reports. So that's you should always do. Anytime you're going to take some sort of supplement, you should always ask someone who knows about it if you don't know about it, and not just ask a random person. Ask someone that is trustable, is a reliable source, or do your own research. Don't be so lazy and ignorant that you can't go and do your own research on supplements, because they aren't a thing to play around with. You shouldn't just start taking them for no reason. You should really do the research in, think to yourself why you're doing it. And for another aspect, they're really expensive. If you're spending a lot of money on stuff that doesn't work or you don't need necessarily, well then what's the point? So that's a key tip. You want to always do your research. Now onto the proteins that I have had. I've had a lot of protein, and the only ones that I can withstand at the moment is BSN Synta 6. Really sits well in my stomach, and I really like the flavour of it, mainly because if you look at the macronutrients on the back of it, it isn't like any other protein. It's actually quite high in fat and carbohydrates, which most proteins are. So it doesn't have that horrible protein taste, and it's unbelievable. It's so nice. It's literally like you're eating a weight gainer, even though it does say it's a protein. Another one that I have tried recently that I really like and sits with my stomach is Matador Nutrition. I've had that recently. My brother got a tub of it, and I really like that, and that really sits well in my stomach. They're sort of the only two that of recent that I've had that I really like and I know sit with my stomach really well. Other ones I had that I don't like is Optimum Nutrition. I hate it. It makes me feel horrible. Connecticut, just brands like that. Just overall, I just never liked them. And in all honesty, I don't like drinking protein because I feel I just, it just doesn't fill me, and it eats into my protein, especially I have it. I just prefer eating meat instead of drinking my protein. It's just, in my opinion, so much better. And if you can get away with it, it's so much better. The only problem about that is another thing why people do protein is it's cheaper. The amount of protein you get in a bag for the price you pay, it's so much cheaper than buying chicken or meat or fish or anything like that. It's 100% cheaper. So that's another thing. But as I said, if you're going to get a protein, do the research on it, and necessarily the cheapest protein is going to be filled with a lot of crap that you do not want. So you're better off taking your time doing your research, and if you can, spending money on a high quality protein that you know you can trust, that is filled with the right ingredients, what it says, and is overall going to be better for your whole body. So the second supplement I want to talk about is another everyone's favorite that everyone asks about next to protein is creatine, and specifically creatine monohydrate. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most commonly taken one by any sort of YouTuber or fitness person. Anyone you would ask, they would always recommend creatine monohydrate. And the reason why I take creatine monohydrate is, for one, if you talk to anyone, it's the one recommended supplement by everyone that scientifically proves a small amount that it can have that little bit of edge, maybe 1 or 2% edge added to your performance. Do you necessarily need creatine? No, you absolutely do not. Same as protein. You do not need to get creatine at all. Why do I choose to take it is specifically for that one reason, that possibly that 1% it could help you. It may not be. It may be a whole placebo effect with taking creatine. But as I said, just specifically because it's one of the most highly recommended things by everyone, that if you talk to anyone, is to take creatine. Will it help your workouts? Will it help you? In my own opinion, I do not feel any difference between being on creatine and being on creatine. I'm making it sound like a steroid at this point. Taking creatine and not taking creatine. I've gone a week or two without taking it. I've done a year of lifting without taking creatine. I've been lifting a year while I've been taking creatine, and I do not find any difference in how my body's feeling, how my workouts go. It honestly makes no difference to me. But one simple fact why I take it is because it's really cheap, and if I can spend that little amount of money and it does give me that 1 or 2% edge over any other person that is not taking it, well then I'll go ahead and take my chances with that. It is one of the most highly researched supplements, and just amount of tests done on it, so it is really safe. There is a misconception about half the time people always say, oh, creatine makes you so strong and does this. You need to get that out of your head. It's the same as the protein. None of these supplements are magical supplements unless you're taking steroids or performance enhancers, any sort of drugs. These supplements that you buy in your supplement shops are not going to help you to an effect or an extent of where you will actually notice. Maybe they help you, as I said, that 1 or 2%. Someone's supplements that barely even help, but you may get that competitive edge. Just, that's where you do not need it. This is what I'm trying to emphasize. But as I said, it is really cheap, and if you want, it is one of the cheapest supplements to get. And as I said, that 1 or 2% edge, it maybe get it, but as I said, no difference. I find it no difference. I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. So this creatine is made by Olympia. So this is creatine monohydrate by Olympia, super mechanized, the purest creatine monohydrate. So I only paid, I believe, like €26 for this whole 550 gram tub. Okay, so it's really cheap. You can get it even cheaper than this. Some places I've seen you can get like a kilo tub for €15 or something like that. And that's one key thing. Creatine is that type of thing. It's not like protein. It's not you pay what you get for. It's creatine, the cheapest you can find. That obviously not like a 2 kilo tub for €2 or something, because then you're obviously not getting creatine. But you should not be paying any more than €30 per tub of creatine. Even that is quite expensive. I would always keep it between the 15 to €25 range for a giant tub that will last you a couple of months. It is one of the cheapest supplements on the markets that you can buy, and as I said, you do not have to splash money on it at all, and it's not recommended like by me. I don't recommend anyone to take it if they say, oh yeah, I want to get creatine, blah blah blah. The first thing I sit them down and explain to them that it's not a magical supplement. It's not going to do anything for you that you're significantly going to notice, and that if you don't have the money, there is literally no need to buy it. So that's the creatine I use. As I said, Olympia, the reason why is because I went to the supplement shop across my gym when I had some money on me, because I ran out of creatine and it was the cheapest one there, so I went ahead and I picked that up. Okay, so I'm going to do the next two supplements together. So the next two things we're going to talk about is multivitamins and fish oils. And these are the two supplements that I mainly recommend to nearly everyone that talks to me. They say, oh, what supplements should I start taking, or what supplements should I be on? And anyone who's starting to lift, I would always recommend a good multivitamin and a good fish oil to them. Mainly because I take fish oils, and the reason why I recommend fish oils is purely for joint health. I do powerlifting as well as bodybuilding. I do very intense, very heavy workouts, and my joints do get sore, and I've played rugby for 5 or 6 years. That's a very impact sport on the bones, and your joints will get sore. And what fish oil do is they allow your joints, just oil to be in your body, lubricate your joints, and I actually do find an effect. If I don't take my fish oil for about a week or so, I will feel after my workouts or during my workouts or just overall that week, my knees will start to get a bit sore, my wrists will get a bit sore because I've had problems in my wrists before. I get a slight bit of elbow soreness and stuff like that, and my joints will just be sore. So that's the reason why I take fish oils. You can either take omega-3s or omega-3, 6 and 9s. I recommend just omega-3s because there's no real point for going for that 3, 6 or 9 unless you want it. Same with fish oils. You don't really want to go for a really cheap brand of fish oil. You really pay for what you're getting for a fish oil. You can look at the back of the fish oils and you can find out the ingredients and stuff in it, but you don't really want to go too cheap. Then again, you don't really want to pay too expensive. And this is the one I use here. You can see this is NOW, this is NOW, which I believe that the supplement shop I get these from now is starting to discontinue them, I think. So this is just 100 soft gels, and I only paid 10 quid for this 100 soft gels. So I bought 2 boxes of these, so it was 20 quid for 200 soft gels, and the recommended daily amount of these is just take 2. The back of it sometimes can tell you to take more. That's another thing you need to realize, is sometimes, as I said in the last section there about creatine, sometimes it tells you to take it 3 or 4 times a day. You should only take 5 grams of creatine a day. I forgot to mention this a minute ago. Any more than that, your body just pisses out. Your body cannot handle more than 5 grams of creatine a day. Some people can get away with 3 grams of creatine a day, but it really depends on the person. Now, back to fish oils. As I said, sometimes they tell you to take these 2 or 3 times a day. My recommendation is 2 capsules once every day. And yes, these do have fat in them here. Let's see here. Per serving, 2 capsules a serving, there's 20 calories and 2 grams of fat in this whole serving. Do I count these on my macros? No. I take these every single day of every single year, no matter what. I always take these. As I've said, though, sometimes I forget for a week or 2 if I don't have them. But I do take them so often all the time that my body is naturally used to them. So if you're taking them for an extended period of time, like anything, your body adapts and becomes used to it, so you do not have to add these into your macros. Some people do. I just think it's completely retarded and there's no necessary need for them. So I'll just show you here what one of the capsules looks like. So as you see there, it literally just looks like oil in a little soft gel there, and I said 2 of them a day. I've already took them this morning, and the ones, as I said, not affiliated with any companies, the ones that I normally go for is NOW right there, nutrition. So that's exactly the fish oils I take. So the next thing we're going to move on to is multivitamins. So the reason why people take multivitamins is just to get vitamins into their body. If you're eating enough micronutrients, as I suggest as well, because most people who are counting macros or do if it fits your macros, they do not eat enough micronutrients every day because they try and fit ice cream blah 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 into their diet. And that's one reason why you should take a multivitamin, is because if you know in your head, and I put my hand up, I'm so guilty of this, of not eating enough micronutrients during the day, the multivitamin keeps you topped up and makes sure you are getting all your vitamins. Even though it is a better source to get all sort of vitamins from fruits and vegetables every day, as I said, taking that multivitamin makes sure that you just are hitting all sorts of vitamins you want to hit in your body to overall keep your body healthy and well balanced. The thing about a multivitamin is you shouldn't really, once again, spend a lot of money on it, but you shouldn't go extremely cheap. What ends up happening half the time is when you take a multivitamin, and if you ever notice you pee after it, it's really yellow. Well, what that is you are literally just peeing out the multivitamin. You take one multivitamin tablet and your body absorbs maybe 2 or 3% of that, not very much of it. So there's no need to spend loads of money on a multivitamin, but then again, you don't want to go to a really cheap one. The thing about multivitamins again is the more expensive the multivitamin is, the more of a profile that is in the tablet. So if you spend a £5 on a whole thing of multivitamins, there may be 1 or 2 or 3 in them. If you spend 25 quid on 100 capsules or something like that, you will have a massive list of the amount of different vitamins that are inside that tablet. So once again, you are paying for quality, but then again, as I said, you do end up, your body can't absorb it and you do end up pissing half of it out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the multivitamin that I have, and this is ON Optimum Men, and this is 90 tablets. So the recommended serving for this is 3 tablets a day, but as I told you, your body isn't going to absorb that, and half the time supplement companies put these recommended dosages on the back is literally for you just to eat the supplements like candy, so you will be done quicker. That means you have to head back to the shop and buy more. So my recommendation is just one of these tablets, just 1 tablet daily. If it says 3 or 4, don't, just take 1 tablet every day. Or trust me, you will be perfectly fine with just taking 1 tablet every day. So the reason why I chose ON Optimum Men is because my supplement shop didn't have a very wide selection on them, and ON is a very well known, very trusted supplement company, and they weren't too expensive but they weren't too cheap. And the profile on the back of these is a lot. You have vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to read them off because I'm dyslexic and I cannot read, and I'm just going to make a fool of myself. So as I said, multivitamins, fish oils, these are the 2 that I highly recommend. Anyone who's starting out and is like, I want to get this, I want to get that. The only supplements you will ever need that will help you, not even this, is mainly this, but I do suggest getting both of them together, is a good multivitamin and a good fish oil. Trust me on this one, these are the only 2 you will ever need. The other ones are just if you have spare money. So this video is starting to get a bit too long, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through another supplement. This kind of video, I'm just giving you supplements that I do take, or supplements I have take. I'm not going off on every other supplement in the world because there is literally no point. So the next one is going to be pre-workout. Okay, so I started taking pre-workout literally because I was like everyone else. I was like, oh my god, I really want pre-workout, I really want pre-workout, loads of caffeine, get really cracked. And I started on Cellucor's C4, and I took 1 scoop. I believe it was about 150 milligrams of caffeine and like 50 and 100 milligrams of beta-alanine, and I took it. I didn't feel any of the beta-alanine in my face, didn't feel that tingling feeling like anyone, and the caffeine didn't get me cracked that much. So I increased the dosage to about 2 scoops, so about 300 milligrams of caffeine, and then I realised it wasn't really doing much of me. I took 3 scoops one day and it went overboard and I just felt absolutely sick. So what I've realised is I have a really high tolerance to certain types of caffeines. If I'm taking pre-workouts, it's very rare that I have found a pre-workout that the caffeine hits me, which is quite strange because when I drink a can of Monster that only has 145 milligrams of caffeine, I feel that really well. That gets me really cracked and I can feel the energy coming from that, and I believe that's just because of everything, all the other shite they mix in Monster, that they probably don't have in half the pre-workouts that I have. Some good pre-workouts that I have had though is some BSN NO Explode. That was a non-caffeinated pre-workout. Yeah, you can get them. They're non-caffeinated pre-workouts. So it's a pre-workout without caffeine in it at all, and I felt really good and felt a really good pump from that. So what I'm going to show you here is products that I got the other day from Myprotein. So this pill here is literally just pure caffeine. So this is 200 tablets, and per one little tablet in there, as you can see, there's 200 milligrams of caffeine per tablet, and this one here is just called NO2 Extreme. So as I said, this product is literally just pure caffeine. So I pop one of these before my workout. It's 200 milligrams of caffeine directly to me instead of all the other shit that's in pre-workouts. And what this is generally just a pump product. So what this does is regulate blood around your body and gives you that, after, if you've done 100 bicep curls or whatever, you get that real pump. This does this without you even working out. It just makes you very vascular and feel very pumped. And the reason why I got these 2 products off myprotein.com, as I said, I'm not sponsored by them, I'm just telling you where I got them. They had an 80% sale on all their tablets, so I got about half a year worth of caffeine for like 8 quid, and same with this pump product, it was only about 12 quid or something like that. So that's the pre-workout I'm taking at the moment, taking 3 of the pump tablets and only 1 caffeine because it's 200 milligrams of caffeine per tablet. So what I want to tell you about pre-workout is you do not need pre-workout. Pre-workout is the last thing you should ever think about buying. Why do I take it? I wake up very early and go to gym very early. I have a very busy and very hectic life. I do a lot of things. I train very heavy, and some days I just need goddamn caffeine inside my body to get through my workout. I do not recommend playing around with caffeine or taking pre-workouts under the age of 18. Am I 18? No, I am not 18, but it's my body. I can do what I want, but I'm going to tell you now, anyone who's watching this channel's pre-workout or any sort of high caffeine supplement is not a thing to play around with. I've had some very bad experiences of taking too much caffeine on some days, and is not a thing you really want to play around with. So overall, let's do a review. 2 supplements that I recommend for everyone to take: fish oil, multivit, the only things you ever need. After that, what you should get: creatine monohydrate, not expensive, cheapest one you can find. You don't need it, but if you're looking for another supplement, that's exactly it. Pre-workouts under the age of 18, I wouldn't really go near them, especially because of the caffeine content. Under the age of 16, I would definitely not go near them. But if you're 16 or over, go ahead, you can dabble with them if you want. I don't recommend it, but if you want, it probably won't do that much to you. Under the age of 18, don't go near it. Protein, not going to give you instant gains, literally just there to help you hit your protein intake. You do not need to take your protein as well directly 30 minutes after your workout. There's no such thing as that stupid anabolic window that people go on about. Take it whenever you want. If you want to wake up in the morning and have a protein shake, go ahead and do that. So in turn, that's exactly what I'm telling you. So that's what I take. The caffeine pills, the pump product that I'm taking at the moment, vitamins, fish oil, creatine, that's all I'm taking at the moment. I don't take anything else, and as I said, the only thing you really need, unless you have money to spend, is a fish oil and a multivitamin. And if you don't have the money to get them, well then go ahead and train without them. You do not necessarily need any supplement at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. All my links for my social medias are in the description: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all that is in the link in the description. If you liked this video and found it informative, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll hopefully do more videos like this if you guys like this. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.